playing with their backs against the fence line here. It's Sentinels that are trying to take this fight, but let's not forget that Moist were right there next to Tree that could easily third party this. Caustic ult has been called in here already from Frex, taking some empty shots in the dark here to see if we can at least put in a little bit of pressure. They get the crack originally, but Space Station fall incredibly low, only leaving Frex on the backline that's up and alive and healthy.
And Sentinels back off as the third party from Moist arrives. Let's take a look at how Moist dissect this third party.
Taking space.
Yeah, on this fence line, on the ping. Right on the fence here.
I ulted behind the blue crates.
On me.
I'm taking one.
Crossing one. Behind you. Yes.
Rest him.
I got 100 banger.
New team.
I'm dead. I died with armor swap.
I think I'm dead here. Yeah, I'm dead here.
Let's jump into a listening with TSM as they try to clean up this third party.
I got cracked. I'm swapping.
Ult that. In my ult. Two in my ult.
In the back.
In the back. Down. I'm betting.
Last guy. Push.
Betting. Nice.
I'm swapping.
I'm
moving up.
We
have 40 seconds. Yeah, we have 40 seconds. Just chill.
OpTic get eliminated, and we have our final 3 squads left in the lobby between Disguise, TSM, and Complexity.
And all you gotta do as Complexity is wait for Disguised and TSM to fight. It is inevitable. Disguised have very few options when it comes to how to engage. A portal is just too telegraphed, but a knock onto one member of Complexity does change this up. The forced exit from scaffolding lets DSG stay in power for so much longer. What do TSM do? This is a 3-team game. All of them have to be involved in how this end game plays out.
I'm just at least banking on these last 2 teams to try to grief each other, split some attention. This guy's in the portal, and he manages to escape through, but he's a little bit outside the circle. He doesn't have time to reset here. He's going to be forced to drop down after popping that shield back. Here comes Timmy. Design can't pop it off. He can't get his shield back to health, only leaving enemy and Timmy here, but the Knots gas at the very end allow Complexity to take the dub. They were in God spot, and they took advantage, winning our first game of the day.
E8 have just completely destroyed the game plan of Sentinels that were on Furious page from just a few seconds ago. The plan is now just to survive for as long as possible. Even that is not guaranteed. C9 perhaps in a similar area as E8 continue to get aggressive. They've already cracked C9. Why not go for a bit more? Shuby zooms on forward with the Havoc, almost finds a knock. And as we say it, Cloud9 melt like butter in front of E8. We're just taking all these swings to take out barrels, but Bang ult is going to be something different. Jay swings in front of the door, taking an off angle, but it just lets Native swing on out. That is a destruction of drop-in gaming, unlike what we've seen before. And OpTic come in to try the third party and suffer losses themselves. Dropped is down. Skittle, the last one now left alive. Rambo and Klein are out. It's just Luxford left to defend Native. Skittle has to choose between Luxford and the gas, and Skittle chooses Luxford and takes the win. What a clutch on the south side of zone. DarkZero does not make this game look fair.
They've got great position here in a height that will come down instead now for EEC. They'll find dropped a knock, which could ultimately spell the end for OpTic, especially with DarkZero's target, but at least, hopefully, puts them now into the top 2 here.
OpTic, after the drop down to take down one member of EEC, have opened the doors for DarkZero, who now own everything. The height, the low ground, the open space. It all belongs to DarkZero. And it's Zero and Sykes on the low ground that pull off a pincer maneuver for a win in game 2. It's been working for them so far, but now they're gonna have to push it into overtime because OpTic must needs take the fight on high ground, and even that is not enough. Whoever wins on height still has to take at least 3 more fights on low ground to make it into the zone. Everyone knows it. OpTic are sprinting past the engagement as Native struggle to find an answer, and E8 evac over it all. Vicky, it is chaos on the north side of the zone.
And this is what we're expecting with the Bango coming in. Native look like they may be meeting one another in the lobby. They get taken out. TSM also taking some shots while they're still safe without being contested. Their backs with the wall protecting them. OpTic Gaming losing out on not playing this as a duo. They've tried to infiltrate the same space that EEC were on and cannot overtake EEC.
Everybody dropping off of low ground now will put teams like Moist in a difficult spot, but they've taken a little bit of ground ahead of EEC. The Thermite is doing work. Moist could find 3 KP before it's all said and done. There's very little space for these teams to play, but a bit of a rock outcropping right next to these buildings will provide the only temporary safety. You're really wishing you had a catalyst right around now, but nobody's got that particular benefit with DSG having been eliminated. It's all going to come down to Bangalore smokes for temporary cover and for control of the open space. Bloodhound ults are going to come at a premium, and SSG are not taking the gamble, instead pushing further and closer to Moist. Ultimately, pushing these teams together is just going to result in one of them going down. SSG rockets forward onto C9. How are they going to come out ahead of this, Vicky?
Especially with slow heals too. Look at Zainu and Frex falling incredibly low. Phony now being incredibly one-shot. Space Station get eliminated. It is Moist now versus C9. A game that C9 desperately needed. And MT's looking out for blood. He climbs up above. He tries to take a different angle. They need some help though. MT and Guild are low. But Waltzy is clearing the lobby. He finds 2 and he wipes up the entirety of C9 by himself. Moist take game number 3.
Definitely daunting to see them already down and out. For DarkZero, the complete opposite story.
Moving right through where Legacy just were as well as a very risky maneuver. We've seen it already not play out too well, and Legacy hold the high ground immaculately, pushing DarkZero back into the spider caves from whence they came, and they get a trident for their trouble. You can't write this, Zephyr. No gold knockdowns as it appears, because they haven't immediately gone for this. SSG are looking at it. E8 have to approach on this. I'll be honest, Zephyr, the low ground is now looking like a peaceful place. As Eternal go down, E8 will follow, and that is just the first 2 of many squads that can participate in a low ground engagement. Only 4 kills so far. While it is good, is not enough with the placement that OpTic currently have to contest a team like C9 who have yet to go down. Dropped. Doesn't get hit by the rockets. However, this is them up against DSG once again, and it's going to be a double swing from Dropped and Skittles to try and take down one. Complexity are the ones that ultimately fall there, missing out on Kimchi and Lou. 1 member left, Monsoon, who drops down and immediately gets melted by OpTic, but trades one out in the meantime. Full send from DSG onto the weekend squad means that we lose another, and TSM swing on that to make it a 4th party for the win. As Imperial Hal takes onto the forefront, Legacy are just watching this happen, waiting for their chance to third party off of the low ground, because the zone is coming to them.
It's a perfect setup as the clean BOI comes into play, as TSM are able to clutch up a reps caught out in front of them. Goes for the knock, but I like the switch of an angle, starting to look more towards Legacy, forcing C9 to maybe push into them instead.
C9 swing Legacy, but they do not get a knock instead. Now they've overcommitted onto that side. Naughty's got no health. TSM have all the time in the world, and C9 go down as a duo with the high ground. TSM can still do nothing against Legacy, or is Hal going to clutch it? It's 1v1. Hal's got no shields, but a shield swap comes in. Jaguaris has the health advantage. Hal's got to drop and take the fight, but Jaguaris with the havoc from behind. The caustic barrel takes the win.
TSM up on top. Sentinels trying to get involved here. Arcane in middle of the building, but look at the disparity. It's purples versus blue. That represents 75 extra health that TSM can burn through and still match up with Sentinels. So it's going to be an uphill battle for them in more ways than one. Hal, he did it again last game and clutched up a few to put him on match point. Right here, he's going to clutch up again. And TSM, Hal decides to throw the Bloodhound ult, and it works. Sees flesh and definitely wants to push this. Sees another bit as well, and an opening with the Prowler, but the Bangalore ultimate, while it's bought them a little bit of time, it doesn't seem like it has gone too much. It's risky to fight here, and yes, it is. TSM going down. They will not claim match point here, My goodness, Gilders is still alive. Moist still getting placement points. I'm not sure it's enough though, especially with 8 Gang holding it out. Moist Esports goes down with 42 points. They will not be on match point. I don't think anyone else can do it at this time. And you think of Rambo, you think of the ability to show up and clutch. You think of the hair as well. We'll see if he's going to be celebrating after this. He's got a tough uphill battle here, but maybe he just might get a little lucky. And by that, I mean maybe Elev8 say, we want to play for something. We want to take matters into our own hands, and we are going to be the ones to push SSG. That means now they've taken 0 damage and gotten 3 kills, and it's Native who are late to the party. Elev8. Vicky, they're looking like they're going to try to do it, but it's 1 kill already from Luxferty. And Elev8 Gaming, they're just trying to survive. Will Native have been able to push? Rambo grabs a second one, it's Sap. And Native Gaming will take the win. Rambo and squad will clutch it up yet again.
LG engaged on this fight. They're waiting patiently by the rock. It looks like C9 are right next to them. It was waiting by the Evo catch to try to catch an unexpected squad, but look at the huge nades. Sweet does get the Arc Star knock though, but it was a trade-up as Staynani is able to get that next Arc Star knock onto Funk. Slayer going down. Sweet is literally 1 HP. Bang-O called in. The knockdown shields coming in clutch. The insurance policy that he didn't know that he needed. C9, they get eliminated. Saved by TSM Hal himself as LG get to see another day.
Now for Moist swinging outside. You found the damage earlier, but you weren't able to follow through for Xset. What could have been is even still a punishment for Nocturnal, but a 2v1 situation. One that comes at the cost of this roster in 7. From above, though, this stack is so hard to navigate. Seconds to boot when we talk about having to make an exit here for SSG with no cover to even exist within. It's the perfect opportunity for them to drop in. Well, find themselves now lower than can be with Crook. JE on Orioles working their way out at the very end here. They're more than happy to clean things up, but don't have the time to reset as Legacy from above clean it up.
Legacy with the Game 6 win. And Legacy involved in a fight here too. Nizul was able to get the first knock onto Crook for this fight.
Surely Legacy don't go down. At no point should we be concerned about that. Legacy have definitely shown up with their team fighting chops today. Slide on by, collecting a quick KP before moving on to the rest of the fight. However, with Jaguaris down, it is just Jay standing in a 1v1 against Nazul. Yet another kill goes down, but drop in do ultimately fall. Legacy play that a little bit closer than I had imagined, but still come out literally and figuratively on top. And a lot of open space that they can play here, while still, albeit, facing down SSG and Zeus Station.
Look, I think they can figure it out after Kale seeing the 2 evac towers and then them beaming them right in front of them. I mean, Moist were just sitting ducks at that point, but they have not been eliminated yet. Like, well, as I said that, as that just happened. They do get them, but not only that, but it was Sentinels, Oxygen, OpTic, Elev8. Everyone is dropping like flies. Just 12 squads left now.
There's only 1 kill for TSM so far, and at this point, on match point, that doesn't matter at all. TSM have to win the game.
This is actually insane. Game number 7, it may end here. We have to see TSM holding high. Legacy inside the other match point team.
Oh my god.
While DarkZero are fighting for their lives, trying to gatekeep C9 from exiting out of the tunnel. Xset get eliminated. Our 7 squads left. The Disguise meet them back in the lobby.
Well, SSG are going to climb that hill no matter what, however, getting themselves closer to the end game and technically in zone. 4 teams are left. 3 of them can win now. It would have to be LG, who are still on blues, that win this game in order to push us to another match. Taking a look at the zone, we're actually moving straight on top of Luminosity, who now have to play defense as they had set themselves up to do from the very beginning. With the caustic in hand, much like many others, they should be able to do it, but Luminosity have yet to win a game during the regional finals. Then they've got to do it now.
The time where it matters the most here, Yanya gets the knock onto Phony. Nizul's trying to take a different off angle with the wingman in hand, but they can't fully commit to this fight. They know if they give up this space, it is GG here with LG looking at them straight in the face.
And TSM now have to decide, do they deal with LG first? Do they deal with Legacy first? Because the choice is theirs, but it is not an enviable one. The third parties are real in end games like this.
They're waiting for it, but this is something to come into question. The compositions. The Valkyrie doesn't have a lot of utility in end zone like this, even with her purple Evo Shield perk, but they do have the ability to get onto the high ground here as Verhos takes some shots at LG moving in. They're taking onto the low ground, and evac tower has been called in from Legacy. LG now are looking to slow rotate this, and with the smoke nade blocking their vision, TSM are trying to split their attention to the squad right below. Because if they take this evac tower, they can get right on top of them.
TSM can take the middle ground right now. They don't want to give up height too soon, but a huge Bangalore roll rips through TSM. Very low health bars, but they're still burning Luminosity, dropping onto the middle ground. It's TSM looking down on the clash of Legacy and Luminosity. Everyone knows they're on height, but they can't do much about it. Luminosity are hiding, Legacy are hiding, and eventually TSM are gonna have to come down. Hal throws in a nice shot with the Volt, and somehow, some way, the caustic gas wins it all, and TSM win on match point.
TSM, your NA Split 1 regional final winners. They do it again as they have so many times. But what a final circle, final game 7 that we just had right there, Dia.